What's going on, everybody? This is PolkCountyNole, brand new channel, first video. If you just so happen to stumble on this video and you part of Seminole Nation, like, subscribe, share. This is sort of my way of doing an alternative to FSU media. We're in a difficult time right now, Seminoles, and I think FSU media has become extremely toxic and overly negative. And on this channel, I will discuss the good and the bad, no doubt. But I will not, I don't know, I won't do the things that I feel like the media is doing. So I'll be reviewing games, previewing games, recruiting, anything that has to do with Seminoles all day, every day. This is what we're going to do here. So my first video, I want to talk about a little bit about what we saw in the Louisville game with Hornibrook, and I kind of want to preview NC State, and where are we sitting at 2-2? Are we excited, deflated, a little bit in between? Don't be scared to comment. Share your thoughts. I plan on this channel being interactive. Maybe if I get a few more, maybe if I ever get some subscribers, I do some live streams, and we'll do some stuff like that. Please, if you, I'm not doing this for honestly, I'm not doing this for any type of profit. I'm simply doing this because through the first 4 games of this season, I got so much shit I like to talk about. And excuse the language, sometimes I do curse, but there's just a lot of stuff that I like to talk, that I want to get off my chest. So this is what I'm gonna do. This is the way I'm gonna do it, and hopefully I can reach out to the rest of the Seminole community. You guys can come share, be positive, be negative. As long as you're respectful, I'm respectful back, and we can communicate. I'll leave a link. My email will be linked if you want to reach out to me an email. And that good stuff. So, excuse me. Let's talk about what we saw in the Louisville game. Well, since this is my first video, and I'm doing a video after 4 games already, we'll do a brief rundown. I won't say a brief rundown of what we did all season, but I'll touch on some things that I like and I don't like. When we talk about Louisville and the previous games before Louisville, it all honestly is just the same. First half, I don't know what it is, we're dominant. Except for in that Boise State game. Offensively, we were dominant. Defensively, I feel like we got by. Boise State turned the ball over, made some mistakes. Every other game, we've dominated the first half of these games. And then something happens, specifically in the first quarter. Something happens where I don't know if the offense hits a roadblock. I don't know what you want to call it. They completely stall. And I'm trying to understand. I have yet to understand exactly why they're stalling. I can't put my finger on it. Maybe somebody out there can help me. I don't want to criticize the play calling because there are plays out there that I see, and I don't want to overly criticize Blackman, though he's left some plays on the field, no doubt about that. Cam's been dominant the first 4 games. Nobody's been able to really slow him down. Offensive line has been drastically improved. It's got a lot of room to improve. But a guy like Dante Lucas has improved every single game, in my opinion. Roberts, the transfer from Northern Illinois, has been invaluable. We didn't get any kind of tackle play from that position like that all year last year. He's been as rock steady as anybody. I feel like Bayvion's going underrated. You haven't really heard a lot of complaining about Bayvion Johnson because he has some snap issues. He's had some snap issues this year, but not a ton. And for his first time starting, you're going to get those things. I really feel like the offensive line has improved. We definitely need to get better. that left tackle is still a weakness. It doesn't help that Juwan is hurt, and I'm not completely high on Juwan to begin with. And the guy backing up Juwan isn't anything to write home about. So offensive line definitely needs to improve. I really want to touch on from the Louisville game is Hornibrook, because he showed me some things that. Now I'm not sitting here saying, "Oh, we need to start Hornibrook." That's the guy from day. No, because I think Blackman does some things better, but I think Hornibrook does some things that Blackman. I don't know if Blackman can't do or Blackman just chooses not to do. And one of those things, and which I think is a big thing in this offense, is Hornibrook extends plays. Blackman is more of a typical pocket passer. And I'm not saying Hornibrook is some scrambler, because he's not. Blackman tends to get in the pocket and he doesn't really like to move. He's trying to, and he holds the ball too long. Where I feel like Hornibrook made quick decisions, was able to extend plays with his feet, get outside the pocket. Sometimes that helps a bad offensive line when you can get outside the pocket, roll outside the pocket, extend the play a little bit. I think Hornibrook did all those things. One of the things I really like from Hornibrook that I don't think James does very well is make quick decisions. James holds the ball too long, in my opinion, sometimes. Now James has the better arm. I think that's apparent. Even though Hornibrook made a hell of a throw to DJ in that game. That was a hell of a throw and catch. It was high, but I think it needed to be high. I think that he put that ball where it needed to be. Blackman has a live arm, but Blackman's not very accurate, as we've seen in that Virginia game. He missed a few passes that really, maybe if not at least tie, we win the game. So, that's offensively. Our skill position players, I think, are Terry's an NFL wide receiver. Helton, I don't know if he's an NFL wide receiver. He may very well be. But as far as a college receiver, I mean, unless you play at Alabama or Clemson, I think Helton might be able to start on any team in the nation, even for his size. Like, that kid is quick, a great slot receiver. Trayshawn's coming along. I like what he's doing. I really feel like they need to use Warren Thompson more. Maybe opposite, like keep Helton in the slot, keep Matthews in the slot. Put a guy with Warren Thompson's size opposite of Terry. Gavin did a great job blocking, but honestly, I don't want them drawing up plays for Gavin. If you've been a Florida State fan longer than Day, Keith Gavin drops almost, and anytime it's a critical ball, Keith Gavin's gonna drop it. I've been tired of seeing 89 drop passes. I would like to see Warren Thompson, get some opportunity. One guy we haven't seen is Jordan Young. There's a couple guys we haven't seen, so we'll keep a lookout for them. Neighbors showed up in the Louisville game. The fullback moved to tight end. They basically ran like the same play for him, but like 3 or 4 plays in a row. Louisville failed to adjust, and Briles just decided, okay, we'll just drop the ball off the Neighbors and get 10 yards a pop. Which was great. Aguayo, we're not even talking about the kicking game, but think of more offense. McKitty, I felt like when Willie took over the tight end, McKitty, a tight end like McKitty would be used a lot more. I don't know if that's a knock on the player, or if Briles just doesn't utilize the tight end like that. I think McKitty's a guy that has a lot of talent. For whatever reason, hasn't really been able to find a groove in this offense. You would think a guy like Blackman would rely on McKitty a lot, then he doesn't seem to. Maybe Hornibrook will. I'll get to who should start this game later on in the video. This shouldn't be an overly long video, just a quick introduction. And then I would definitely be doing a NC State review after that game. But I think that's a quick rundown of what I've seen on offense this year. Just not being able to sustain any offense in those second, third, and fourth quarters. It's really baffling. With that said, Browns has improved the offense tenfold since last year. If you watch last year, you know this offense, this O line, almost every aspect is even the quarterback play. I mean, people, thought maybe with DeAndre leaving, even though I know DeAndre wasn't the biggest, he didn't have a lot of fans in Seminole Nation. I think some people might have thought there was a little bit of a decline. And I don't think so. I think Blackman has played very well. The problem is Blackman hasn't made the play we've jumped out of leads so quickly that the fact that he's missing on a lot of plays almost goes overlooked, except for the fact that our defense has been so terrible that teams have come back every single game. If you had a stout defense, a lot of Blackman's mistakes would go overlooked because we're jumping up 21-0 on every opponent. The problem is you don't have a stout defense. And those leads have evaporated every single game. Never seen anything like it in my years watching this team. Never seen anything like it. And I've been watching since Peter Ward days. Chris Winkie, Peter Ward, I've been watching since a long time. And I've never seen our team be so, what do you call it? Jekyll and Hyde, if I'm saying that right. Like, just they literally look like two different. It looks like we look like one team during the first half, and it almost looks like they go in and a bunch of clones come out in the second half that have no idea how to play football. Consistency has to improve. Defensively, so before I go to defense, I talked about Cam. I mean, if there's probably two players on offense just off the top of my head that are bona fide NFL players, and that's Cam and Terry. I mean, Terry's 6'3", 6'4". If I had to guess, Terry probably runs a sub 4.4, if I had to guess. Same thing with Cam, probably runs about a 4.4. But he's strong, big back. I mean, those are two NFL players. And we'll see what happens going forward with the offense. We'll see what happens in NC State. Defensively, in the Louisville game, that defense looked completely. I think the Jim Leavitt hire was felt in that first half for sure. I would almost say that Jim Leavitt hire was felt throughout the game because then they came back around. One thing that stood out to me in that first half of football, and as you watch me, you'll know I have a disdain for number 5, the linebacker, Dontavius Jackson. I don't dislike him as a person. I'm sure he's a great kid. But as a football player, he needs to give all his equipment back to the staff and go somewhere else. He might be the worst linebacker I've seen at the history of this school. I can't think of a worse one. You look at the history of the linebackers we've had, from Telvin Smith to Derek Brooks, Vince Williams, even guys like Kendall Pope back in the day, Buster Davis, like Nigel Bradham. I can go on and on about quality Dakota Watson, quality linebackers at FSU. Some Hall of Famers, obviously, like I named, NFL All-Pros. The Marvin Jones, he is the worst. Even Reggie Northup was better than this guy. He is the worst. I don't know what. If somebody put in the comments, what does D-Jack do good besides play himself out of position on every run pass? He's not good in zone coverage. He's not good at defending the pass either. But it's glaring running the ball. He plays himself out of. He over pursues almost every time the hole's here. He runs himself outside every single time. He gets caught up in the blocks. He triggers late. I don't want to. I don't want to see that guy play another down. I don't. We have some young talent, and last weekend against Louisville, watched that entire first half. I don't know if I saw him for the entire first half, and it showed. Leonard Warner was looking good in my opinion. Emmett Rice is better. That defense looked completely different in that first half. They were stopping the run. Even a guy like Stanford Samuel, who I'm not a big fan of either. I know his father went to Florida State and he's on the staff currently and all that. I get it. But he plays soft for a guy to be 6'2". He's skinny, but he's 6'2", probably 190-ish. For a corner of his size to be as soft as he is, I don't like to see him out there. But even he played decently in run support last weekend. And then the second half came. And guess who I saw? I'm not blaming the entire failures of the defense in that second half to D-Jack. But they started running the ball a lot better in the second half. And guess who was on the field during those plays? And I'm telling you, man, you think I'm not picking on the kid, but go back and watch, and you tell me what you see, and then you come back and be like, no, PolkCountyNole, you tripping. It wasn't, it was that. Marvin Wilson has been elite. Like I said on offense, I said there's two bona fide NFL players. Well, on defense, we have in my opinion, you're talking about a bona fide top 10 guy in Marvin Wilson. Unguardable, unblockable. He's elite. Probably the best defense. He's probably the best D tackle in the country, in my opinion. If he's not the best, he's definitely the top 3. Maybe that kid from Auburn might be better. That might be the only guy. So yeah, Marvin's even Durden. Like Durden has been amazing. Coop has been great. Like those 3 have been good. The problem is we haven't had consistent pass rushing. Janarius Robinson played probably his best game of the year last year. I thought in that Boise game, Janarius really stood out in the Boise game, and last week he had probably his best game of the season. I like what I saw out of kind of what I've been seeing out of Amari Gaynor on the edge also. Again, I like that they move Warner back inside. I think that's where he belongs anyway. I think we just need to see more of those young linebackers. I don't want to see D-Jack anymore. Thoughts and prayers go out to Woodbay. I'm not going to blame his injury on the staff, but he had no business being a linebacker. Woodby's a safety, and Lawrence Woodby should never have been playing in the linebacker role. I'm sorry. But thoughts and prayers go out to him. Wish him a speedy recovery. Hopefully when he comes back, they move him to safety. Because Lord knows we need help there. The secondary, in my opinion, may be the most disappointing position group on the entire football team. Because if you look at almost every player in that secondary, all of them got 4 stars or more by their name. Yet they can't defend the pass for shit. I don't know why Willie didn't hire a defensive backs coach this offseason. Blows my mind, but oh my God. These guys don't know how to play the ball while it's in the air. They don't know how to read coverages. They're getting out of position all the time. I feel like if you were going to move a guy, like you move Woodbay to linebacker when he's a safety. If you're going to do that to any defensive back, it should have been Hamza. Nasruddin should be a linebacker on the edge with his speed and strength, and the fact that that guy loves to hit, and he should not be back because he is not good in coverage. That secondary's got to improve. It sucks that we can't see Travis J out there with his academic. That really sucks. I hope they get that cleared, and it's not something where we find out later on that he won't qualify, which Willie said everybody qualified. So hopefully they fix that. Defensively, we were completely different in the second half. In the first half, I was like, whoa, this is a different football team. And then the second half, they went back to the football team we've seen the first 3 games. So really, I felt like Hornibrook won that game. I felt the fact that he was able to extend plays, make quick decisions, quick reads, smart plays. He didn't take any unnecessary like sacks or anything from what I can remember off the top of my head. Which I'll be saying that like I watch Blackman and almost want to pull on my little bit of hair I got out because he drops back and then the read's not there. The reason it's like if you don't see it, you're not gonna run. Obviously, just throw the ball away. I feel like Hornibrook is more poised to do that. He's not gonna see. He can't see if he doesn't see anything open. He's either gonna scramble it or just do a quick, and that's. I think in this Browns offense is what you need. You need a guy that's gonna react quick, think quick. And I'm not saying Blackman can't do those things. Believe me, I'm not saying that. He hasn't shown it. I think one of Blackman's problems may be that he kind of looks for his elite guy too much. Because he loves the deep ball. That's his best ball. I mean, he's got the arm for it. I think Hornibrook, might be better going forward. But I'm not going to – I'm going to root for whoever it is. I like both guys. Hornibrook showed me some stuff. At first, I thought that was just a guy who transferred in for numbers' sake. Because in the spring, we had one scholarship quarterback. Period. Who was this? Jordan Travis? Jordan Travis? The other quarterback hadn't been cleared off of waivers yet. We had another, the other quarterback from, I forget where he's from. He's not cleared off of waivers for his transfer. So we needed the numbers. That's what I thought the Hornibrook take was. I thought that was a guy that's to take numbers. I think Brian saw something in him that nobody else kind of knew. I feel like judging his Wisconsin days may have been a little bit unfair to him. Wisconsin runs a heavy pro-style run game. They line up I formation and just going to run it at you. Pass it out of a play action. Maybe that particular skill set doesn't fit Hornibrook. It may be a system in Browns where he can make quick decisions. He doesn't need to throw the ball 20 yards. He can make quick decisions, get the ball in the hands of the playmakers, and let them get the yards. That may be what we need to see going forward, Seminole Nation. Looking forward to the NC State game. I haven't watched any of their games. All I know is that they're 3-1, I believe. I have no reason to believe that this game plays out any. They haven't shown me a reason to. So until they show me a reason where they dominate for 4 quarters, we'll probably jump out to a 24-0 lead. 21-7, something like that. We'll definitely be up by halftime, like most likely 24-10 or something. And then we'll see. I think maybe week 2 under Levitt, which is an interesting conversation. I'll do a video on the Levitt and Harlan Barnett fiasco kind of later on. I'm not sure how much Harlan's really coaching this defense, if I'm being completely honest, because that defense looked completely different. And the personnel changes showed me that somebody got into somebody's ear and said, no, we're going to change some things around. So we'll see week 2 under Levitt, how that defense comes out. I expect big game from Marv. He'd still be graded in the 90, 80 percentile. We'll see how the linebackers play. If I see D-Jack in the first half, I'll cry because I already know how that ends up. I don't expect much different. I don't expect too much to be different. Big lead. I just would like to see in that second half. Can we not give up a 21-point lead? Can we play a solid 4 quarters? And I think this is a big game. One, because you got Clemson after NC State, and I don't know if anybody in the world even thinks that game is going to be competitive. But I'm not going to talk about that game quite yet. I'll wait. But this is a big game. One, for the confidence going into Clemson. If you can put this team, if you can play a full 4 quarters of Florida State football where you go up, contain a lead, look, no defense in the nation is perfect. You're going to give up points. But there's no reason why you should be up 21-0 at halftime. Then in the 4th quarter, you're down 24-21. That is crazy. And they've done it every single year, every single game this year. So what I'd like to see is you go up 21-0. Okay, maybe they score in the 3rd. Well, you know what? You respond. Let's go up 24-7. Then maybe they even score again, 24-14. Well, then you need to respond. Just keep putting points on the board. I'm not saying we don't look. We ain't got Jameis. We ain't averaging 40 odd points a game like we did that year. That's not going to happen. I don't expect it to happen. But we are average. We can average in the 30s, and if we can play solid defense, we can win these games 38-14. Like I don't think that's asking too much. Obviously, Kendall Browns has completely changed the way the offensive played. They're light years better than they were last year. The defense looked like it regressed, and they weren't even good last year, but they looked like they regressed from last year, only to now being proved. They showed improvement last week in that first half, and then in that fourth quarter, they made plays, fumble, interception. They made plays, was able to seal the game. So, and NC State, I want to see them build on that. I think we'll win. I think we'll win. I'll go 37-20. 37-20. I'll go 37-20. I'm hoping we put, 4 quarters of football on the board. 37-20. Then I think we have a bye week, and then we play the mighty Clemson Tigers. And, we'll get to that later on. But this game is key for their confidence, to show that they can play 4 quarters, because you're going to need 4 quarters against Clemson. No matter how, even if I think Trevor Lawrence is a bit overrated, you're going to need 4 quarters against Clemson, because they're loaded everywhere else. You're going to need, you're not going to jump 21-0 on Clemson in Death Valley. Like, this team isn't the past. Like, you're not going to do that. So you need to play 4 quarters. And this game is key for that. I don't think NC State's necessarily a threat to beat us in Tallahassee, even though that attendance last week. But that's going to happen because the fan base is in turmoil right now, man. The fan base is toxic. FSU social media is toxic. It's one of the reasons why I'm here. I'm trying to not be toxic. There will be videos where I come on here pissed off, but I will not do the things that I think a lot of you, if you follow, if you're on FSU Twitter and things like that, you see what I'm talking about. And it's not pretty. It's embarrassing. It's even gotten to the point where I see FSU Twitter talking about they would welcome Urban Meyer. We're going low, Seminole Nation, if that's what we're talking about. Urban freaking Meyer. If that's what we're talking about, we're reaching. It's sad. I don't think we're even there yet. It's funny how fast they want to get rid of Willie. That's a whole nother conversation for another day as well. But I'm going on 30 minutes. I think that's good. That's a good time. Sort of reviewed and previewed the NC State Louisville games. This is my first video. Again, if you like the content, comment, subscribe, share it. Don't be afraid to comment and interact. PolkCountyNole, Go Noles, Unconquered. Hey, I appreciate you for watching, man. Go Noles.